Hey, hi everyone. I hope you're doing good. And in this video, we can talk about how you can create custom shortcuts in Excel with the help of the VBA. Okay, so why there was need to make this kind of video, I will just explain you. So let's say if I want to make a custom shape, it's a transparent and it's red colored in the outline, and let's say the weight of that border is 1.5 points. So I will go to the insert. I will go to the shapes and just select the rectangular shape and drag it. Then I will again click on that so that I can go to the shape format and then select a transparent background. I will change that color of the outline to, let's say, red. I will also change the weight of the border being 1.5 points, right? So as you can see, there are multiple steps involved in creating this kind of the shape, and this kind of the shape is pretty much used everywhere in the context of the audit documentation, right? So what if I tell you that with the help of the VBA, if I press Ctrl Shift and R, only these three keys that will create this kind of the shape, right? That will be pretty efficient, right? So that's the reason why I'm making this video. Here we will be unleashing the power of the personal.xlsp file. So just to give you context of what the personal.xlsp file. Personal.xlsp file is the Excel binary file which is stored in the background, and it gets opened every time you open any Excel workbook. So every time you open an Excel workbook, an Excel instance will get triggered, and every time an Excel instance will get triggered, the personal.xlsp file will be also opened. It will be hidden, it will be open in the background, right? So what approach we are following here is that we are using the personal.xlsv file as a macro repository. So all the macros which I think will be helpful to me on daily uses, I will just compile that macros and import or save that in the personal.xlsv file. So every time I want to use that macro, I will just open the Excel workbook on which I want that macro to get applied, and indirectly my personal XSB also file is getting open in the background, and I am using those macros which are stored in that personal.xlsb file. Okay, so what I've done is that I have just given you a zip file in the description box below. You can just download that and extract. You will get a folder named VBA shortcut macro, and if you just double click on that folder, there are 5 shortcuts which I have built in, which will be helpful for a user in the context of the audit documentation, right? Okay, so how you can import this file, I will just quickly show you. So first of all, you need to make sure that the developer tab is active. If not, you can do that with the help of the custom quick access toolbar, right? And then you need to go to the record macro button, right? What the approach we are again here following is that we will just record a macro, just reselect some random cells so that the code will be generated in the background, and whenever you are recording the macro, it will ask you to where you need to store. So we will select that personal.xlsb file. So you click on the record macro button, and here it is going to ask us that where you want to store this. So there are 3 options. One is this workbook, one is a new workbook, and one is a personal macro workbook. So here the personal macro workbook is referring to personal.xlsb file. We will select that and press OK. We'll set some random cells. We'll just click on stop recording, and then we'll hit the Alt and F11 to trigger the VBA editor. On the left hand side, you will see there are 2 workbooks. One is the book 1, which is the open Excel file, and as you can see, one is the personal.xlsv file, which is hidden, right? We'll go to the module sections, and on the module you can see there's a code which has been written, right? This module we are of no use, so what we will do is that we will just right click on this module, and here we will import all the files which I have given in the descriptions. So I will import arrow. This will create a black arrow. Then I will import a bullet point, so this will also create some bullet points, which is very helpful. Then here is the highlight cells. So these are some of the standard colors which we use for the purpose of the audit documentation. Then the red rectangle box which I showed you earlier, and the last one is text box, which is again very helpful, right? So if you can see, if I double click on arrow, there is a code which has been there for the arrow. For the highlight cell, there is another code, and so on. Okay, so what we'll do is that we'll just close the VBA editor, right? And we'll just delete this as well. Okay, and let's say if one more step is that now we have just imported the macro. We need to assign a shortcut key to that macro, so that while pressing the shortcut key, the respective macro will get triggered, right? So we will again go to the developer tab, and then we'll click on the macros, and here all the 5 macros which are there, which will be shown here. And let's say for arrow, I want to Control Shift A. I will just select the macro arrow and go to the options. Right now, as you can see, Control Shift A is already there because this file was already imported in that Excel. Let's say in your case it will be Control and the key. So by default, Excel allows you a combination of Control key and alphabet key or numerical key. And let's say if you want to have a combination of Control key and Shift key and alphabetical key or numerical key, as the case may be, you need to press and hold Shift and then let's say if I want to Control Shift A, I will just press and hold Shift and then A. So that will create a Control Shift A. Okay, and then I will just close this. And let's say for example, if I press Control Shift A, a black arrow will be appeared. Then there is one more Control Shift B, which will create a bullet points. There is one more Control Shift T, which will create a text box, and there is one more Control Shift R, which I have already shown you, that will create a red rectangle box. And I believe there is one more, which is for example, let's say here there are text, which is, let's say, so headers of the table. And in our audit documentation, we use a standard color, which is the fill color is purple and the text is bold and the text color is white. So I will just select those cells where I want to apply this formatting and press Control Shift U. As you can see, the fill color is purple and it is bold and the white color of the cell, right? So these are the some of the shortcuts which you can build. Obviously, you can build custom shortcuts. There are multiple ways to build the shortcuts. You can use this record macro, you can use ChatGPT or the Copilot, you can just hardcode the VBA, right? But this is pretty efficient, right? Now the last important thing is that you need to save this, right? Because if you right now, as you can see, book 1, I just opened it, it is not saved. But I don't want to save book 1 because all the macros which are stored in the personal.xlsv file, not the book 1 file, right? So I will just press close, and then it will ask me, you want to make a changes in book 1? No, I don't want to make changes in book 1, so don't save. And then it will give me a trigger point that, do you want to make a changes in personal macro workbooks? Yes, I want. So I will just select save all and close this button. Now let's say if I open an Excel again, and let's try out some of the shortcuts, like for example, Control Shift R. As you can see, the text bar, Control Shift B, and there is one more Control Shift U, Control Shift A, and there is Control Shift T as well, right? So this is working, right? So the beauty of the personal.xlsv file is that even though the macros are stored in that personal.xlsv, it can be applied in any of the Excel which is opened, right? So that is the beauty, and I thought this is pretty efficient because with the help of this VBA, a lot of time can be saved. Yeah. So I hope you find this video pretty helpful. If you have any kind of queries or anything, any kind of clarifications are required, please put that in the comment box below. I will try to answer that. And please like this video and share with your friends and network so that they will be also aware of this. With the help of the VBA, you can be efficient. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.